Well, SABC News reporter Natasha Phiri joins us now from the convention. Natasha, a very good afternoon to you. Having just listened to President Cyril Ramaphosa's opening address there for this convention, one does get a sense that he's trying to drive home the fact that this convention leading up to the national dialogue must be citizen-led. Just speak to us about what's been happening. What are the conversations like?
You're so correct, Unathi. Lunch has actually just ended right now, and of course the various delegates that are here are going back into plenary where, of course, those various themes will be discussed. But let me just get back to it. I've got three guests, and of course we'll be unpacking the various themes. A theme that actually caught my mind is a dynamic, inclusive economy, jobs and livelihoods. And of course, one person who's taking part in that is Matthew Parks from COSATU. It would be interesting to actually hear what inputs as COSATU they'll be making. Thank you so much for joining us at SABC News. But Matthew, I mean, this is at a time where the unemployment rate is actually, plummeted. I think it's 33.20%. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've got those tariffs, 30% tariffs that are, threatening the automotive sector, the agriculture sector. As COSATU, do you think that the timing of this convention was perfect, perhaps, to address these issues? But also, what inputs will you be making?
No, look, first, the timing is important. We have an unemployment rate expanded of about 42%, and we've been sitting in this cul-de-sac for quite some time. The economy has been stuck at 1% for 15 years. We've seen really entrenched levels of poverty, of inequality, of crime and corruption. We have public and municipal services which are struggling to deliver the goods that workers, that society, that the economy depend upon. And we can't continue this path. We can't continue to normalize the abnormal. So for us, the heart of all of our issues, whether it's the National Reconciliation Project, whether it's gender-based violence, all these issues are linked to the economy, to unemployment. If you resolve unemployment, the other issues begin to resolve themselves, not completely but significantly. So for us, it's about how do you fix the state to provide the public service that society, the economy require, whether it's ESCOM or transit or metro rail, whether it's municipalities, because the economy can't grow without a functioning state. But how do you stimulate the economy? By investing in it through infrastructure investments. But also the state can only do so much. The private sector has to invest in the economy. It has to help create jobs, to save jobs. And once you do those hard things, including managing the tariff debacle with the US, because we can't afford to continue to shed jobs, how do you provide a pathway to young people to enter the economy? Through public employment programs, we should increase them. But even the private sector too has got to offer internship programs, artisanship programs. We also have to see how to give more capital from the state, from the private sector, for industrial sectors, for export industries, for SMEs, because not everybody can be employed. You have to also create job creators as well. And whilst we do these things, we have to deal with the moral fabric of society. We've seen a flurry of hate speech on social media in the past year. We've seen some right-wing lunatics going to the US, for example, spreading fake news about white genocide and other nonsense. So we also need to address those issues because this complex scenario we're dealing with requires all of us to contribute.
Mr. Parks, thank you so much. Let me just take this conversation to my next speaker. Of course, highlighting very other pertinent issues, Unathi, outside of the economy that needs to be discussed. Issues like gender-based violence. And of course, as we talk about GBV, let me bring in Riboni Chikwado, who is the content developer at Black Women Caucus. Thank you so much for joining us at SABC News. Riboni, in 2021, there was a gender-based violence summit. We saw women from all sectors of society coming together, hoping that out of that summit would be able to yield tangible results. You're here now, at the national convention, hoping that perhaps something will happen. How optimistic are you? Because, time and time again, people have been saying it's not like the leaders don't know what's happening. You raised the same issues that you probably raised at that conference, you'll be raising here again. What hope do you have that this time around something will actually bear fruition?
All right, thank you so much for that. What I am very optimistic about is having all sectors of society come in hand to end the scourge of gender-based violence. Like you said, in 2021, we had the presidential summit where we spoke about our pleas. He said, women of South Africa, children of South Africa, we are dying. What can the government do for us? But we're here today to see, we're here from different sectors, from civil society, from private sector, from business, to say, what are we going to do about this issue of gender-based violence? Because really, we can't solve it in a year, in 2 years. We need everyone to join hands. We need this as an intersectional approach to end the scourge of gender-based violence, and we need the support of private sector, public sector, of government itself to really put their money where their mouth is.
Riboni, thank you so much. I look forward to the inputs that you've been making. I know I had a guest lined up from Action SA, but I've been told to link to my colleague Patricia Visachi, who is in Mamelodi. And of course, Patricia, just tell us what is happening on your side.